My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. See thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com. 8SWF788, 7STS126, 6WCC415, City of Ontario, license 1416303. The same minions documented as of late with the City of Ontario, and they're also monitoring with the Ontario Police, which is always the case, but the Ontario Police come and directly engage in the P.O.C. And this is officers identifying themselves as well. Guerrero, documented before, multiple acts of criminal summoning. And also Bonilla. This is the name that he identified me at. And vaguely familiar. He says I encountered him before because he approached and said my full name and everything. So I was like, do I know you? And he was delightful even. But this is P.O.C. But I do want to state that those are two officers that I do vaguely recall. I think we must have had a very brief conversation. He's exaggerating. Oh, we met tons of times. They're always exaggerating. But I perhaps may have encountered him before. Of course, most of my encounters were in depth with Guerrero. And they just arrived pursuant to criminal summoning, and understand they always have to engage in that because their form is that somebody called them, somebody told them, and that's why they're present. And this time it wasn't City of Ontario by way of admission. It was the museum itself, okay? Supposedly talking about complaining about people on the grounds of the museum. This is criminal summoning. 4VWA747 01093U2, that's DeWalt. 6FHE671, that's criminal summoning. And 27163H3, it does not matter how friendly that method of criminal summoning is. 8JZH621 5XIR449, as I pointed out before, okay? You're talking about what is the entity that is engaging in a pattern of conduct and doing so. 6FTS804, 5XLA653, 6NYP617. This is the same Ontario Police Department who are literally engaging in what is formed for their presence. That's what criminal summoning is, 6MNJ434. And this is the Ontario Police Department, and I'll remind you why. Okay, it's a cloudy day today, so there's no molestation with directed light. There's no directed light underneath the side of the museum. There's no ongoing amplified audible activity right now. All manner of communication of a threat while the Ontario Police are present pursuant to criminal summoning, like was the case as I documented a few days ago, where the Ontario Police arrived, and in that scenario, I'm breaking down to you what is the still prevailing threat, regardless of the friendly demeanor, okay, and literally the almost an indifference to it's like they weren't making a big issue out of my presence. In other words, and by not making a big issue, what am I saying there? Because this is the P.O.C. So you're talking about not as trying to use what is criminal summoning as some means to engage in what is a kidnapping or an otherwise overt form of harassment. All right, you're disinterested generally about the fact that I'm at the museum. You're only here because, they called and, not a big deal. We know who you are, whatever. Wap. So it's criminal summoning nonetheless. But today, okay, again, and all matter of that environment is communicating a threat regardless of the friendly demeanor of the Ontario Police. And I broke that down for you before. 8WBZ964. License 7PAL488, 7TLR191, paper plate BN22H21 paper. But like I said, right now, okay, you have the entity that is still monitoring. There is no, again, fake sun's not over my head right now, meaning it's covered up under the cloud. It's the quote-unquote cloudy day. I'm still subject to the P.O.C. The entity is not molesting me right now with what is laser-like directed light while demons are pasting the license plates that I'm reading after encountering the Ontario police, a communication of a threat, all right, as I documented before. But this is the same, let me be clear, this is the same exact Ontario Police Department who was engaging in what is criminal summoning. Why? Okay, they're lying. Nobody needs to call them. Nobody is engaging in some complaint as though the Ontario Police don't know where I'm at. The Ontario Police is group stalking by helicopter at the museum. They know exactly where I'm sleeping every night. They know when I'm sleeping in a hotel room. They know when I'm sleeping in a car. They know when I'm sleeping outside. They knew when I was sleeping in my apartment. Okay? Even in my car, you're talking about in my car before the Ontario Police Department stole it. All right, they know all of that. So you're talking about what is the P.O.C. This is the form for the pattern of conduct. It is the ongoing pattern of conduct I remain subject to. An Ontario Police group stalking 159-1505, vehicle 1035, license 8 PEB 384. Monitoring with the Ontario Police, by the way, as are all of these license plates that I'm reading. So like I said, this is that pattern of conduct, and you have what is the police engaging in what is criminal summoning by way of admission, and doing so, which is not lessening the threat. And it was specifically Guerrero who was engaging in another criminal act of criminal summoning. And that is an ongoing threat. It is the grounds of federal prison. And then you have the city of Ontario, the same two minions that engaged in kidnapping with that Ontario Police Department. Even understand that's a communication of a threat. All right? Specifically engaging in what is criminal summoning and kidnapping with the Ontario Police. They're present. And they're monitoring together. While they're present, they're just stating, oh, we just got some complaints, and, we just need you to get up and go. No biggie. I was going to get up anyway, but I'm just speaking to the reality of the situation. You're dealing with an entity that is placing you under surveillance. And this is also why you document, because that is a fact. And so nobody needs to make any phone call. You're lying. In other words, this is BS, and it is a method of monitoring and what's supposed to be, a psychopath-friendly method of doing so. Also, while I'm on the internet, looking at what the entity is monitoring. Okay, don't want me looking at that stuff. 8KSE023, 8DIS569. They're all monitoring with the Ontario Police Department's grounds of federal prison. 7NHU870, 6TOJ225, 7BYD752, 8GTZ597, 8YSS724, 7APT374, 8NJBO34, 66417W2, 8SSK463, 7EQH068, 8LSL337, 8BGR361, 54644F2, 4NFP682. And it is 7:23 a.m. Big Toe Foods crossing path. All right, it's 7:24 a.m. I'm 5LXW 787 66312B3 07156Z1. That's Rocha Lansing Air X, license 86869K2, I believe. And 5NB. I can't really see that one. I think I read that one already. 60216J2, 7HOT979, 7AFE809, 7AGC258, in case I did not read that one. DHE's crossing path, looks like Chaffee Joint Union High School crossing path. 78261K1, 8EAH488, 61637V2. And let me point out something else to you. The personality of Satan, as I've revealed that to you while I'm both documenting and exposing demonic activity. 55144X1. that is nothing other than what is a psychopath that will engage in what is threatening you, even through means of smiling in your face and appearing what is on the surface to be friendly, all right? The entity engages in what is symbolic threatening conduct, and that is accomplished by virtue of the presence of law enforcement. Law enforcement that are engaging in criminal conduct, not just any law-abiding officer that has authority under the law, that's not placing under surveillance, that is receiving what, but this is not the case. Everything where I'm at, this economic status is directly precipitating from the criminal conduct of Satan itself, engaging in this demonic conduct. Moreover, you're engaged in surveillance. You know exactly where I'm at, psychopath. Okay, while you're talking about somebody called you, you're lying. It's audible activity. But nonetheless, understand that is a friendly method of the same entity that wants to threaten. This is the personality of Satan. It does not change. Even doing so by smiling in your face and being friendly to you, they're still monitoring you. So understand, you're getting past the superficial veils where you're subject to the P.O.C, 6S VX517, 8TLC 615, and you're also understanding what is, again, as I stated before, never lessening the level of a threat. Never. Especially with regard to what is the presence of the entity that's stalking you directly. All right? There is no way to make friendly the entity stalking you by helicopter, threatening your life in that manner. There's no way to make that any less an overt threat to your life at all. Okay? If they're stalking you by helicopter and then they are engaging in what is, making confetti in the sky, your favorite color confetti and something like that, it sounds ridiculous, right? That's not making it any less of a threat. It is entirely threatening. And it's the same with regard to the entity group stalking by police officers. That threat is never decreased. It's never lessened. And moreover, you need to understand it's a tactic for what is still that ongoing obsessive desire. Satan always wants to threaten. Satan always wants to engage in what is insisting on, determined to engage in this criminal pattern of conduct, even conceding, and by doing it nicely, if you will. And I put that in air quotes, doing it nicely, monitoring you nicely. All right. But like I said, just want to break that down. Anyway, it's currently 7:28 a.m. and the people of the state are group stalking with the Ontario Police Department, as I'm documenting right now. And I am walking north of Euclid Avenue, 6 NWP 803, 8 MWS 077. 8 VGK 492, 16240A1, 6XIF 613, 7 VAC 687, 8 WHR 296, 8 EJB 679, 7 DSP 709. And what I want you to pay attention to is, listen, I'm documenting as they're crossing path, right? And this is what the ordinary target individual, i.e. a human being, is going to be able to document: what it is that you are witnessing, what you're subject to, what you observe, the threats as you encounter them. The threats as you become aware of them, and also. But let me be clear, pay attention to what you heard. As I'm pointing out, I stated something very specific, and then what immediately follows is you hear me document the Ontario Police. When I said that they don't need anyone to call, they're engaging in surveillance. The Ontario Police, stalking by helicopter, they know exactly where I'm at all times. And then you'll play this tape back, and I can't control the timing when they cross path. That is the entity stalking in real time with knowledge of what I'm saying as I'm saying it. I've also pointed this pattern out to you. As I stated that, you'll hear moments very soon after that, Ontario Police is crossing path in my face, okay? They are monitoring in real time. That is a communication of a threat, all right? And this is what Satan likes to do, especially, again, I've told you, for example, I put it in terms such as you say Satan's name, he comes calling. He comes. All right? That's exactly what happened as I stated that fact. But they are stalking me by helicopter. This is terrorism by the Ontario Police. And then the Ontario Police are crossing path, which is a communication of a threat as well. Also pay attention to the timing. All right, these are all the things that I want to point out to you while I'm also documenting the entity. The City of Ontario is stalking the path with light activity at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. And it is the same two actors, the one with the tattoo on the neck, the other one at 5XVM928. He wears the hat, the farmer's hat. And the minion that is, he's the one that was making, she's in my face. And I wasn't in his face. But anyway, they're creating light activity. They are monitoring with the Ontario Police. And they're monitoring with the Ontario Police, who then cross path. And there's obviously the Ontario Police are group stalking. So they are facilitating light activity while the people in the state and the Ontario Police are monitoring. Anyway, it's currently 7:30 a.m. This is P.O.C. And again, today it is Friday, May 20th, 2022. 7:31 a.m. 8JVK 825 4992602 H&M, and I can't see their license plate. That's H&M Henkel. And there's another vehicle which I cannot see their license plate either. License 8HEX166 6UFA 059 86881J3 42175A2 4UCF788 8FEY 698. Oh, is this 83? 83 is here. It's 7:31 a.m. early. All right, I am on bus 2348 at 7:32 a.m. This is the quietest Omni-Transit ever approached. I was reading license plates and I turned around and they're there. This is employee 3072, and I am on bus number 2348, and it is 7:32 a.m. Oh, this is Route 83, so that's the direction I'm headed, northbound, in the direction of Upland, California. Mission Linen Uniform Service Crossing Path. 7YBT283. 8AWG316. 7XQX156. 7XQS156. 1591657. That's Ontario Police Vehicle 1032. And this employee is monitoring with the Ontario Police. They're crossing path, driving northbound on Euclid Avenue next to the bus. 8JBE687 is monitoring with the Ontario Police. This is the Blink Fitness Plaza. They're group stalking in that parking lot. The Pizza Hut, where the Rite Aid is formerly at, the Bank of America. Right now at 7:36 a.m., they're group stalking, monitoring, threatening with the Ontario Police. American Inn, monitoring with the Ontario Police. American Inn is located at 755 North Euclid Avenue. JPOWERS. That's a third party from Woodside Senior Apartments, monitoring with the Ontario Police while I was sleeping in the car, while I was inside Woodside Senior Apartments, and right now while they're group stalking at Euclid Avenue and H Street at 7:36 a.m. PHU 333 6YXN 603 7EQC 292. Group stalking with Ontario Police. In case I did not recite, BSTLYF 80339K1 6ZNK112 and 8YNA832. Monitoring with Ontario Police, stalking with light activity at Chaffee High School. That's ECI, it's a large truck. 8WSC 742. 7FGA 529. 5JIS 284. I want to make sure that license, it's BESTLYF. That's that license plate. Student transportation, 7HYU 510. Seven POP 640. Eight WGW 174, 8 NUU 546. 80399K1. 7EHE 330, 7XRB 925, CD17Z60 paper, 6ZRB 432, 2926, 29. I can't really see that one. That was security paving on stalking and traffic with light activity. 8JMV 914, 4RHK 520, 84387V1, 25333T2 security paving. San Bernardino County Sheriff group stalking with security paving. These third parties, and this is at 7th Street and Euclid Avenue. 7:42 a.m. License 7EQL 489. Monitoring with the Sheriff's Department. That's grounds of federal prison. Just want to be clear on that. License plate 7XDR 583. 8JMV 914. 7KOV 952. 7XYD 602, Student Transportation of America 7HUY 510. That meaning is monitoring with the Sheriff's Department. That's a Caucasian female. She's wearing glasses. She's got like wavy golden hair, neck length. She's monitoring with the Sheriff's Department. We're at 8th Street in Euclid. The meeting's at Arco at 193 South Euclid Avenue. Group stalking and monitoring with the Sheriff's Department. It is 7:43 a.m. The license 7XYD 602. I think I might have read that one. BD 68C1. Group stalking with the Sheriff's Department. And so is this driver. This is Omnitrans and the driver itself. Both methods of documenting the people of the state. Group stalking with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. Hart and JASE.
Stop requested. If possible, please use rear doors.
81911J2. 75783W2. One 1568316. Group stalking in relevant position is 711 at 204 North Euclid Avenue. And they're also group stalking with the Sheriff's Department. It's facilitation while they're on the street. 7KVA 612. 10620V1. 9AVS. I can't really see that when you can switch them. 5ADF 962. 8YBN. I can't see the rest of them. 5R 39796. 5FIZ 571. 8WYC 775. 7EQC 292.
Stop requested. If possible, please use rear doors.
Si posible, favor usar la puerta trasera.
NWV 843. 6AGN246, 6VYA153, that's Student Transportation of America. It is 7:47 a.m. Alright, this is P.O.C by employee 3072, operating bus 2348, Route 83. Alright, again, this is bus 2348, and the license plate is 1545862. And I've arrived at in Upland, California, at the Uptown and Country Shopping Center, that bus stop on Euclid Avenue at Foothill. ZMN410. And that employee operating Omnitrans is stalking in the path with light activity. Loitering in relevant position 8EVM428, 5RFD931, 6PWV657, 7KDP570. Two 6970H3, 26151N1. It's 7:49 a.m. BK49191, 8GLV384, 8UEY547, 8CQR653, 5GJK503, 17303E2, 6NPE734, 6EZM018, 7BXM114, 8YJZ443, San Bernardino County Fire, 8KEY702, I can't see their license plate, but that's San Bernardino County Fire Department across the path. 8BCN674, 7MXJ142, 8BCT570, and it is 7:51 a.m. I just crossed the street. I'm at Foothill and Euclid in Upland, standing right in front of Chase Bank at 31 West Foothill, 31 West Foothill Boulevard in Upland, California. A third-party facilitating venue. Alrighty, I am at what is the Foothill Town Center. This is where Vaughn's is located. And monitoring inside of the store. These are psychopaths that just surround you inside of a grocery store, pacing all around. It doesn't matter what they're doing. They could be stocking milk on the carts. Those demons keep communication devices in their hand. Ongoing obsessive stalking. 49145H2, 9AGK542, 8RNU964, 8UTP240. License 7KPZ652, 8UNR638, 6RTJ813, 8WMMO68, 7HDN449, RVRRIYD, 8RFT735, 8ZKV441, 7UTV504, 7DQF512, AAK2411, that's Arizona, LYNLIMO, 81467L1, RUDO5, 8LAK296, 6XSG261, 47014S1, 5WRK822, WEBRD Looks like maybe Idaho or something. No, I can't. Or Oklahoma or something like that. 8PUF 875 6HDC 706. That's again. No, it's California, but I don't know if that's actually a license plate. WEBRD. Yeah, that's a license plate on the front and the back. That's a demon stalk with noise. I walked forward and then I turned around. They're just keeping me surrounded with that method of noise. 7FBT 094. 7ZAX 022. Stalking in the back of the parking lot. This is surveillance, keeping presence around me as I'm walking to the parking lot. 8PUF 875. SASSY 18. 8WDF 358. 0738 3G3. In case I did not read this one, because this demon crossed the path when I walked over here. Let's see. 7PFL 991, SNA 310, which is South Carolina. 07383G3, 8BJX 850, 7KNJ 173, 93837R2, 5ZEF 101, 88759B3. 7ZKV 709, 5GRU 147, 5TIA 450, 7CIE 162, 8ZKV 441, 7UNM 014, 8FWN 303, 8ZGO 029, 6YBY 331. And it's 8:10 in the morning. 9AYB 532. BB78T41 paper, 8GIC490, 8ZSK325, 8CLG 774, 8BIP631, 6RZC007, 7ZFA630, 30402D1, 4WEJ204, 03873G3, 8XZW521, 6GYW588, 8PPZ247, 8NEF592. Seven BMV 533, 7 VNX 760. They're monitoring at Uptown Country Shopping Centers directly across the street in relevant position. 7 WTC 786. And I'm just speaking to what is relevant positioning because, of course, I've already demonstrated that in my documentation. When you are keeping a fake sign over me early in the morning and also in the evening at the same venue, which is the documentation that already exists. This is an ongoing P.O.C. It's 8:12 a.m. Eight YSS 655. Seven RNS 388. 8 RVV 079. 150CT88. 8 PHE 727. 7 MOD 546. 8 JMD 966. 9 BCV 983. 8 DCK 246. PHL 326, AL 74T57 paper, 4TYM 403, 8HCN 224, 6VCH 420, 4XRF 405, 6RTG 914, 7XES 387, 8CBV 841, 8MSW 495, 3TVZ 092, 8WVS 910, 8CLK 200, 7GKL782, 6GTJ551, 7VPW169, 6CTL003, 8XRL452, 7GMN832. Make sure this other one's correct. 6UAW297, and that is 8XRL452, 8ZPL351, 45849R1, 7ZVV842, 22279B2, 8TWK361, 7MJP958, 4JEA369, and it is 8:15 a.m. 8VXF750, 6G80799, 7VNA021, 21174C2, 6LND798, 7VZD322, 1THOR, 1TOHR, 7MPL544, 4E27113. The group stalking at the donuts inside of the Uptown and Country. This meaning engaging in surveillance. And as I resume reading license plates, he just gets up crossing path going into a facilitated venue, which is serving to document the entire entity. License, and this is an overweight Caucasian male wearing blue basketball shorts and a gray t-shirt. He's got a pot belly. 60285. It's a license plate, small letters PR, I believe. It's a Toyota Tundra gray truck, and the large characters, the regular size characters, are 60285. 6Z01855. And it is 8:18 a.m. I've got to get this license plate. Hold on a second. Can't leave this minion out. They're obsessively stalking, so give them their due credit. License. Excuse me. The small letters on that license plate is DLR, and then it's 60285. License 12942M1. It is 8:19 a.m. 1TOHR is Utah. 6LSJ988. 7H, I can't really see that one either. BN 689 handicap, 6UYZ0 or 020, 8GQW 273, 3LKE 354, 7UYX 218, 4MAWEEA, 8PCV 560. 8XXH554, 8UBU022, 8NCT853, 8RYV206, I believe, 7JZK805, Brightville's group stalking in relevant position. They're on the opposite side of Euclid Avenue. And I'm nearest the intersection of what is 11th Street and Euclid Avenue. And I believe the venue that I documented at this location is 803 Euclid Avenue in Upland, California. And that's criminal summoning by Brightview. It's AMR, same demons at that same corner. 8DGT223. All right, this is criminal summoning at 835 Euclid Avenue in Upland, California. The people of the state in relevant position. Uptown and Country is engaged in criminal summoning. All those license plates. Foothill Town Center, they're monitoring right now. It's criminal summoning, 8WOY453. And that is Brightview as well. And I captured that third party in relevant position. Again, the people of the state at 803 Euclid Avenue, criminal summoning. 825 Euclid Avenue, the people of the state in relevant position at that third party facilitating venue. Documentation of what is criminal summoning. License 7PRY 959 LVURFAC F387VO 6GVG280 BN 85G72 paper 7ETS 682 8DQW 750 8PPA 707 license 8TKA 650, and it is indeed at third party facilitating venue 803 North Euclid Avenue in Upland, California, where the entity is engaging with its criminal summoning and the people of the state. All of these license plates 8PEG 376. Understand this is massive documentation of what is grounds of federal prison, as I'm documenting one minute after another. And what you're paying attention to while the entity engages in its tactics, while listening to what I say as I say it, it incriminates the people of the state. 7CXC 615, 8EHC 710. And by incriminate, I mean you're already prosecuted. You're talking about what if you already were not subject to federal prison, you're definitely going to federal prison. MADDIEK 7KKS 713, 8ZGV 319, 7ZXC 125, 8RZA 466, SHNYPNT 25189C1, 152678J, I believe, 8FOV 497, 6GZR 509, 8WPM 187, 7ROJ 416, 8LIF 496, 7ZXC 125, SoCal Gas, group stalking, 7GVC 895, I forget where though, 8ELN 063, 41910K1, 7EKP 845, HD005 handicap, 7XYM 771, 8EHD 068, 8SBH 737. And that is, again, the criminals of American Medical Response, very disturbed, demon-possessed actors, 8NCT 853, engaging in such criminal conduct. And that is prosecuted as well as massive facilitation and unlawful threat to your life while the entity is acting directly and creating activity with simultaneity to what it is that I say as I, again, begin to recite the address of 803 North Euclid Avenue, where the people of the state are documented already. The entity keeping a fake sun over me as I documented. You're talking about 7 o'clock in the morning, while the entity keeps a fake sun over me on the same exact street, which is the Upper Public Library. But nonetheless, the entity also kept a fake sun over those same demons, American Medical Response, group stalking. Not separating by license plate. American Medical Response is a method of identifying the entity as it acts directly through that title, brand, if you will, 8AFZ751, and at 9:40 the entity placed a fake sun over me at the same exact intersection. 8VQM980, 7EZS515, where these demons are also flashing with direct light sitting inside of that AMR vehicle, which I pointed out in that vehicle. That's terrorism. I'm going to prosecute them for that. 7SQF912, 7CHN693, 6XDW949, 6BVC757, 8LK BDX2, so SOCALP1. All right, and this is criminal summoning, so I just want to document more of that group. They're all engaged in that same ongoing simultaneous knowledge. They're group stalking AGYS086, 8JVJ279. And so you give those minions the attention they're due, 20432P2, attention in federal prison. All right, license 7KRL889, 8BVK901, 6SOV566. Now, what are you going to pay attention to? The Upland Police Department are group stalking in the path, right here where I'm reading their license plates, like ongoing grounds of federal prison, right? They're group stalking with the police. 70QY787. By the way, that's what they're doing while American Medical Response, who was already group stalking, you hear how those sirens didn't approach from anywhere. They were already creeping at the corner. They immediately sound sirens with lights and cross path, and those sirens cease. All right, those stalkers are maintaining hovering presence. That's what you're paying attention to. And they're also engaging in that facilitation that is speaking to what is a criminal summoning, while demons are using ambulances. First of all, it's accomplishing the same thing that the police engage in, which is the same analysis for the fire departments, where the demon-possessed entity is placing you under surveillance, which is a threat to your life, while a bunch of psychopaths are placing you under surveillance, a threat to your life. Facilitating that threat to your life, criminal monitoring in concert with the entity acting via law enforcement, is a threat to your life. Facilitating a government placing under surveillance that's stalking you by helicopter is a threat to your life. That threat to your life, justice requires you go to federal prison for that. All right, and the entity is engaging in that times infinity, literally. Thousands of people engaging in monitoring you while they sound sirens. It's massive, amplified, audible activity. License plate 7EMJ481. And every license plate I just read, they're group stalking with the Upland Police Department. That goes without saying. 7KNJ 773. DQF 196, the people of the state at 721 North Euclid Avenue. Criminal summoning. Group stalking with the Upland Police Department. License 156-1122. That's the Upland Police. That's exactly what I stated, and that's exactly what they're doing while crossing paths. License. Let's see, the people of the state at 705 North Euclid Avenue in Upland, California. Group stalking, monitoring, criminal surveillance, terrorism with the Upland Police Department. 33882B2. License 5VCU 958. PMA 363. 8GTL 120. M39028, 6KZA217. 8. I can't see that. I'm used to it. 7XXC 639, I believe, and it's 8:28 a.m. VELMA 28. It is 8:29 a.m. 8 HDF 196 31861M2. Student Transportation of America crossing path on Arrow Highway. 6LY Y479, I believe. Frontier Communications 9316, and I can't see the rest of that license plate. That's Frontier Communications. So 58732S1 8CZZ664 U436HO 6WDM 765 69743G2 8WOE 824 8JSC 469 8. I can't really see that one. I want to say 8HMU 615 7ZXF 127 HD005 handicap GAMMIE 7 8J 8JIZ 155 or 8JTZ 155. That's a Nissan Altima. a white Nissan Altima. HAN 2003 5DER 479. The people of the state group stalking, they're monitoring and stalking the path with light. License 49369D3. The people of the state at 565 North Euclid Avenue. We're the entity stalking by helicopter. The people of the state at 559 North Euclid Avenue in Upland, California. License plate 5MWV775. And it's 8:31 a.m. I want you to hear that? Flying right over my head at 559 North Euclid Avenue. You'll be snatched out of where you live and go to federal prison for that. It's P.O.C. That's the entity. That's the Upland Police flying right over by helicopter. Student Visser bus services is crossing path. 10712E1. The city of Upland is creating light activity at the Upland City Hall. The Upland City Hall is monitoring. Okay, 6PXV626. This is exactly why the people of the state are subject to federal prison, right? And that's exactly why you are documenting and while I'm documenting and also speaking to what is a policy that is necessary in addition to what is a prosecution where the government engages in this generally. I have spoken to and revealed what is a demonic system, and this is relevant for what doesn't exist. Legislation dealing with what is terrorism by a demon-possessed entity engaging in criminal conduct. It's 8:32 a.m. Alrighty, capturing video of the entity pacing by helicopter. All right, I let you listen to it on podcast. Then the entity does a second lap, flies right over my head again in a circle. You pay attention to where I was at the Upland City Hall yesterday. The entity flew directly over my head at that location. This is very targeted. It is also targeted when you're talking about what is the pattern of stalking by helicopter as well. But I'm pointing out what is in every single way. No mistake about stalking by helicopters, and doing so while I'm documenting. And I documented in that video and on this podcast those that are subject to federal prison with that government. That's literally providing the evidence as to why you're going to federal prison. And that includes those that are in relevant position in third-party facilitating venues where these demons live, okay? They're monitoring in the comfort of their living room, and they'll be dragged in federal court and subject to federal prison, having no shelter from prosecution. All right, license. It is currently 8:36 a.m. and I captured that on video. So again, my podcast and my video documentation, as I've always stated, are ongoing supplemental means of documentation. 7MNV363, 7VRB874, 20565M2. That is 7VRB874, yeah. 29141C1. The people of the state at looks like 34 34 Arrow Highway. License 6KOH 686 6MOF 944 7LSS 37. Alrighty, license this minion at bus stop number 80, Route 85. Group stalking with the entity that flew over by helicopter. And whatever bus, if that minion actually gets on a bus, it's on surveillance cameras as well. It's Route 85. License plate 72100Z2 8KRL222 1094382. That's magicking.com. 7FJK048, 8WPM113, 69137L1, 7REW947, 6B58762. Let's see, 47489L3, 7NVT982, 7EQE431, 8SXP181, 8SLW513. Group stalking with the entity that is keeping a fake sun over the Upland Public Library all day long. They're sex offenders monitoring while I'm in the bathroom. They are here in relevant position to that venue where the entity is concentrating on surveillance while at the Upland Public Library. And also you're talking about what is, and that's by virtue of their presence living in relevant position to where I'm subject to that pattern of conduct for the duration of the day. In addition to that, you have what is monitoring with the entity that is stalking by helicopter while I'm literally walking down the street. All right, and that is consecutive conduct in Upland, California. As I'm pointing out, the Ontario Police Department, Upland, jumping in on that. They're thirsty. Officer Turner, he's going to federal prison, and this is ongoing evidence. It's not just him that's going to federal prison. As you see, as I've stated, it's the Upland Police Department. License plate. License 8NFU286. License 12107C1. 8ZOA145. 8NUK583. 8EQG606. 62599F3. 8HBP189, SANCHZ5, 8XWD264, 59761M2, that's mobile detailing. Let's see, 8VVM381. And you're going to recall, I didn't just document this demon Turner on May 23rd, 2018 by himself. He was with his partner, who I documented while they engaged in what is criminal monitoring. That is Turner, though, who has engaged in criminal conduct molestation while monitoring documentation, as I encountered Turner again, not coincidentally, by the way, 7MIZ962. And that's relevant to the ways in which in the term in federal prison that he is, as a matter of justice, subject to. And that probe into what is the Upland Police Department, the criminals that they are, and the necessity of disbanding such an infection to the public. They're literally a liability. They're criminals that are literally waiting for the moment that would be exposed, and showing how much of a threat that they are to the public, stalking me by helicopter in this manner. All right, this is, again, the same entity, the same psychopath, the same very imprudent act of providing evidence of literally your criminal conduct, substantiating the very allegations against you. License 8F85970. License 8JYG296, 8HRU375, 8NUF429. Omnitrans, Route 85, license 1234511, bus 1219, driven by an African-American female looks like, 8JVB432. And that minion who I captured an up-close image of, he's group stalking at the bus stop while the entity is stalking me, flying over me in circles by helicopter. And he is on the surveillance cameras of the Omnitrans bus. 7KTM871, arriving at 8:41 a.m. at Arrow Highway and Euclid Avenue, 8XRB067, Oak Park. License plate CF064, handicap 7SVW352 8D53916 SFTBLYF 7KQL996 and 8FLS059 309H06, that's Nevada. 6KGF604 8YJD867 8FLS509 6UOH186 7XRR262 27892B3 7UZM845 7BWG506 8CSP462, in case I didn't read that one already. 8HTK637 8LQD080 6283OU1 7TKS366 8YJT, I can't really see that. It's too special. 87189T2 8AZE536. Are you minions waiting to cross the street? Because it's your time to go. Unless you're loitering, are you waiting for something? Okay, well, it's your light. Go ahead, minions. These are minions that are group stalking. License plate 8612201. All right, remaining present behind me, group stalking. Those are underage minions. 6X41117 that the Upland Police and the people of the state are engaging in criminal monitoring with. 6YBH885. And they are monitoring with communication devices while not proceeding to walk in the crosswalk when it's their turn. HZ065, handicap, if that's indeed why you are standing behind me at the crosswalk, which is no argument for what is group stalking, by the way. STCA-ZZU, I believe. I can't really see that one though. 8KYV850, COMOTU, 8AZW005, 6NWP803, 7NHX473, 74416Y2, which is Van Lund Roofing. 7J00186, 8GVR706, 9AVS884, 96409Y1. And license 07956P1, Holiday Rock. License 6WFN657, 860XF, handicap, 8GXF498, 8PDW219, 8UJY458, 8KGC195, 8ADZ658. All right, and I want you to pay attention again, my podcast and my video documentation that's showing how the entity flew over me twice. You heard it once, flies off like it's done. Oh, but it's not done. Satan came back to do another lap over my head, which is what I captured on video. All right, this is speaking to, and it's not just that moment. That's what American Medical Response was engaging in, criminal monitoring, stalking. All right, that's what every license plate that I'm reciting, they're engaging in on behalf of that entity. Okay, I have a whole pool of third parties to pull from with regard to the ability to place the people of the state in federal prison. 6LGJ240, 8NNX636, 7MGB899, 50290Y1, 7K92823, 8HJN590, 8VEZ761, 56398K2, 8X30206, 8SVY069, 8KNS104, and such conduct is revealing what everybody who lives on this block is doing, by the way. It's beyond this block, but I'm letting you know how that documentation, that criminal activity is revealing what everybody, it doesn't matter whether you're living in relevant, working in relevant position, like these demons are digging up the ground in relevant position. It tells what everybody is doing. And that's also how you're getting past what I was explaining at from the very beginning with regard to my documentation. You're dealing with what is demonic activity. You're dealing with what is a malicious criminal system. And they rely on what is the appearance of their outward activity. And I'm showing you how it is literally asinine while you are then stalking with a fake sign, stalking with directed light, your demons. Directed light is impossible, but you want to be, you want to appear normal because you're sweeping the floor. 87188C2. Or you're stalking with a helicopter while you want the focus to be on the fact that you're pushing a stroller. HNDYMN2, 56907F1. It is literally the evidence against the people of the state. This is what the Sheriff's Department was engaging in while they're crossing path at 7th Street and Euclid Avenue, 7XEV232. All right, like I said, it reveals what the entirety of an entity is doing. And that's how you're talking about what is heaping judgment. All it took was the person to speak to that, document it, and show what is a consistent ability to show what that criminal system is and what it looks like. 8ZAR697, because they're not intelligent and it's not sophisticated. All right, they can't even be consistent because Satan can't help itself. All right, Satan is a stalker, a cockroach. 7PLS168, 8DW521, I believe that's Washington, 6966DO2, 7DEJ110, 7T61994. That is the entity that is stalking while you see the helicopter flying over circles over my head. They're group stalking with this vehicle, 7T61994. That's light activity creation. Every minute I showed you faces of the demons inside of the Upland City Hall yesterday while the entity was flying not over the intersection of Arrow Highway, flew right over my head again while I was at the Upland City Hall sitting at the Veterans Monument. Very targeted, okay? Flew over my head right over, and I walked right into Upland City Hall so you could see the demons inside of that state facilitating venue engaging in criminal surveillance. So you could see those demons up close. So you can also see who's going to be prosecuted. All right, so you can also witness and understand what is demonic demon possession, because it has nothing to do with your job, your race, your age, your socioeconomic status, your zip code, none of that. All right, license 8XDF673, and they are group stalking, creating light activity in the Upland City Hall, is also monitoring while I am across the street, and the entity is flying in circles over my head, just doing laps over my head, just having a good old time, just flying in circles. That's a psychopath. That's a psychopath that belongs in federal prison. License 7YAK323. And then, what is also relevant to how long you're going to sit in federal prison, 5BFN494, 6G86895, is the fact that this entity is engaging in surveillance while I'm documenting. You're monitoring documentation. That's what's also relevant, and that is specifically the Upland Police Department. All right, I'm in the city of Upland right now. Alrighty, looks like WCA, they're engaged in massive facilitation. These minions have the license 7T61994. WCA is the logo on their orange jackets. Where their group stalking with the entity that's stalking, flying over me, doing laps over my head by helicopter. You can dig up whatever you want. That's a documentation of the pattern of conduct. And you also understand everything that I have stated and pointed out to you and how you're analyzing and what supersedes, which are the elements of monitoring. That's also what common sense dictates. Because when you are stalking with a helicopter, there is no reason why you're going to, and somehow that's going to supersede, or that's not going to supersede what's a minion mowing the grass. Let me tell you what that demon is doing. Pacing, creating audible activity, and light activity while they're under a fake sun, by the way, or in directed light present while that light activity is occurring while the rest of the demons are patrolling all around. They're monitoring. All right, license 13434C3, 8KVY400. All right, and again, the San Bernardino County Fire Department, again, engaging in that criminal act. They're in relevant position while the entity is doing laps over my head by helicopter, 8MWL725. License 5LTA229, 7NXZ152. All right, Sammy's Market at Arrow Highway and Euclid Avenue, 8HAU134, 7NUB011. They are monitoring. All right, they are part of that ongoing criminal act, just like they were yesterday while I was at the Upland City Hall and the entity flew over my head by helicopter. 9ALE879, 6LMY622. That's a minion that's creating audible activity while they're crossing path. And crossing path as I walk on the property of this liquor store where he's engaging in surveillance. He's monitoring. 93681F2. This is the Sammy's 3 Market liquor. Sammy's 3 Market. It's a liquor store. It's over here at A Street and Arrow. All right, the larger intersection is Euclid and Arrow Highway. License 8ETY886. And WCA, they have their whole little setup, flashing light at the corner of Euclid and Arrow, and using another truck in the parking lot of the Upland City Hall with flashing lights on it. Okay, cutting down some trees is nothing but audible activity creation. This is criminal surveillance, and so what you're going to understand, the bigger picture is the entity is engaging in an ongoing effort to maintain an outward appearance of normalcy in society while you're placed under surveillance. This is not about cutting down trees. All right, it's literally a form for what is the maintenance of light activity while and all manner of an entity is focused on you. That's why they engage in what is sounding sirens based on what I'm saying. As I say, this is why they are group stalking, crossing path by the demon-possessed Upland Police Department, as I point out their criminal conduct and facilitating conduct with those demon-possessed police officers, while they are flying over my head by helicopter, as I continuously document the people of the state, which is evidence on, it's not stopping it. This is what I'm saying. Satan is not in any way stopping. You're talking about what's pathetic and what is an end to this criminal conduct, because that is not stopping it, and it's added on evidence for the prosecution, which is inevitable, of the people of the state who are going to federal prison for that very criminal act. 4V65533 is WCA. Light activity. West Coast Arborists. West Coast Arborists are demons who are monitoring American citizens. License 366764, California 68562. West Coast Arborists Incorporated. And what you're looking at is light activity. They're in every way facilitating the police that are stalking by helicopter. That is West Coast Arborists threatening your life. That is the people of the state. That's conduct on behalf of the people of the state. That is speaking to what is federal prison. I did capture images of those minions wearing hard hats, stalking in the path with light and audible activity. 85589E2. That is West Coast Arborists. It is 8:52 a.m. License 52602E1, 8WCY063, 47292G2, 7WLZ959. And it is 8:52 a.m. License 5F33550. The people of the state at 508 A Street in Upland, California, 520 A Street in Upland, California, 8 NRB 743, 5FHF 282, 5HGA 043, 82514K1, 7ZZY 844, 3WSL 861, 71298S1. License W716BO, 8R51251. Seven N94875, 5VMP139, 7X VW930. See, 5VMP139, 581L982. That's STI, the acronym. That's a commercial vehicle. 7WPU591, 6PNU396, 8TRU367, 8JUT543. Yeah. This is the people of the state on F Street. F is in Frank and First Avenue. Right? This is just east, one block. It's on Euclid Avenue is literally the next street over from First Avenue. They are in relevant position while the entity is flying, doing laps over my head. Group stalking by American Medical Response. Group stalking by the Upland Police crossing path. And group stalking by the Upland Police flying over my head, doing laps by helicopter. They are in relevant position while the entity keeps the fake sun, directed light, ongoing criminal surveillance, including in the bathroom. That is a sex offender. They're in relevant position to that venue, the Upland Public Library, where I remain subject to that system. I've been documenting them, in other words, for a prolonged period as I go to the Upland Public Library. 7N96875, 6BJY998, 8BHW735, 5UQY252. 73535X1, 01891X1, 5GCE382, 4XNA412, 7LVZ572, and 8GFU527, 8WRM688, ESC VCL 7V11037. 8LSW485, 8TQH895, 8XJJ541. Group stalking at 690 First Avenue, crossing path. License 4EQZ394, 6V66007. Eight RUP 215. Yeah, 8 RUP 215. 6 LWE 898. 6P48. Well, hold on. License 6SMW009. 6P4. Oh, excuse me. 6P64825. 6GHK833. 4MOE21. Excuse me. 7MOE216. 7FYG375. The people of the state at 84 East G Street in Upland, California. Group stalking and monitoring. And that's currently, actually the correct license plate right here is 7MDE, not 7MOE. 7MDE216, 8DFG498, 6PSV129, 4KZE637. Coming down this side alley, 7HNV926. It's a group stalker. A lot of these young people, you need to understand, these teenagers have the spirit of Satan on them, and they are minions very early in life, and it's very sad. And that's a young person. He's group stalking, coming down the side alley, and he's engaging in very serious criminal activity with the government, okay? 8SZU796. It's very, very sad, very sad. But I'm not here for any preacher service. I'm here to prosecute. It is 8:58 a.m. 8NOM335, 6PTX477, 8TWJ704, 7GEJ060. Seven FBK293, 8WAH202. Seven FBK293, yeah. I'm going to show that correctly. And it is 8:59 a.m. Group stalking with the San Bernardino County Fire Department. I'm at G Street and First Avenue. This is license plate 05505X1, and specifically at what is 84 East G Street in Upland. That's where I'm at. Well, hold on. Or 685 is on the opposite side. 685, which would be First Avenue, and then 84 East G Street. That might be like some sort of little duplex or some sort of apartment type of living thing in a house or whatever. Looks like two separate addresses. Anyway, it's currently 9 a.m. and that is San Bernardino County Fire, who are crossing path on what is 2nd Avenue. I'm on 1st Avenue. And you have another third party that's monitoring with the entity. They're monitoring together, and I'm speaking to what is the timing. San Bernardino County Fire is proceeding on 2nd Avenue, and you have this third party that's driving here next to me. They are monitoring together, and I am speaking to that ongoing criminal concerted activity. But by the way, even if they would have drove past me 5 minutes apart, it is the same criminal crossing of path conduct. But they're acting together. They're surrounding, acting as a unit. It's 9:01 a.m. 8 RUP 215, 5 RQC 279. Just in case I did not read those already. Four U12806, 6 KWA 178. RST GYPC. 8 URE 345. 8 DKU 703. 93266 G3. This Caucasian male, 8 GFU 527. 7 UQD 246. He couldn't even engage in his code of conduct. He's supposed to drive by like he doesn't know me, doesn't notice me, staring at me while he's group stalking. and I'm like behind a tree. He knows exactly where I'm at in order to engage with what is locking vision with my person while I'm on the sidewalk and he's on the street. BD88X23, I believe, paper. 7UQD246, 7SLK694, 8NAZ096, 68KD346, 8D, yeah, I read that one already. This is the YMC group stalking. And their license plate 43125H2. It's too bad the YMCA and Oak Park and all these minions, primary care, don't do anything about the entity hovering over and harassing the senior citizens by airplane and helicopter, hovering where they live. Old people shouldn't be subject to that. 7WVS 598, but it's not a complaint, it's not an issue. All right, it's non-existent when those minions that are of the aged part of the population are monitoring. They serve Satan, okay? 7MA 4NC, they're in their element. 7XRX819, that's why you got Southwest Airlines hovering over senior citizen apartments, hovering over by helicopter. That's why that happens. That's why you have the senior citizens burning up while the entity has been documented keeping a fake sun over those senior citizen apartments all day long while I remain at the Open Family Community Library. That's literally I'm laughing because it's pathetic and it's asinine. The entity did it. I didn't do it. They did it. They're stupid and I documented it. 31008J3. What does that teach you? You're not dissecting any sort of demon possession based on how you are looking at the outward appearance of a person. All right, how old they are, liver spots, wrinkles, double chins, wheelchair. Minions alike, 6ZUN280. And under the law, I'm not going to prosecute any less fiercely. 6G99418. License 8VDG388. FULMIN2. In my opinion, actually, and this is just as an aside, it just makes it even more pathetic. You're dirt old, okay? You're a half a block away from croaking over and dying, and you are serving Satan to the end. It's pathetic. 4MEM438. Okay, you can't even run. Okay, but you're monitoring, though. It's pathetic. License 8C27520. You call yourself somebody's grandmother or grandfather. You want to be honored with regard to that. Nothing honorable about minions. You hear me say that a lot. It's the truth. It is a universal truth. Nothing honorable about minions. GS195 handicap. $7UXM511. And so therefore, I say all that to say, those are the minions that the YMCA is catering to while they're group stalking together. Pathetic. That whole picture, pathetic. License 4RPS 722. HVL067, 7G16209, 8XEB878, 8XJE101, 4SEY577, 8SBG769. 8KHR015, 7E27839. License 8LCB105, D718A1 21844S1, in case I didn't read those already. and 8PVG445. I believe I read those. Yeah, 7AGW895, 6WHJ293. I'm pretty sure I read this one in front, which is 5SGH103. It's 9:10 a.m. 6FDC005, 6UCP787. 8KDR467. 8GEN559. It's 9:12 a.m. 8SRW287. 7WAM202. 8HGE129. All right, just driving down that cul-de-sac that I walked down at 1st Avenue and 11th Street to engage in what is maintenance of presence. This is a heavily tattooed Latino male with a bald head. The license 8LCB105 that I read. License 6VDC267. 57098L1. 5WGD801. This is group stalking on behalf of the state. This is criminal conduct of the people of the state. And this is how you just catalog, clock them one after another. License plate 80977Z1. And they're all monitoring with what is West Coast arborists. Who is creating ongoing flashing light in relevant position of 1st Street, where I documented these license plates. 4VQP997, stalking in the path with light. 7VFB127, license 6YRW301. 8ZVT231, 6LIG659. And it's 9:14 a.m. All right, and that minion, the license plate that I read, they're driving past me with their hazards on. That's light activity. And that's communication of a threat. That's ongoing terrorism. They're stalking with light, surrounding you with this light conduct, a bunch of demons that are stalking you with that peculiar conduct everywhere that you're going. And then the psychopaths are also there. You're remembering everything about their criminal conduct, cognizant about the documentation. That's an unlawful threat. 7EGR881, 8EYS746, 6ENX101. See, the people of the state engaging in that criminal threat at what is 160 11th Street in Upland, California. 5CVR596. 8ZVT231, 8XZE998, 5LDJ690, LINK1, the people of the state at 171 11th Street in Upland, California, engaging in that threat, stalking in the path with light activity. License 6UOY362, 8UCN011. (9794OX2) primary care. 7MPW940. 8DQX308. 5DLX507. Come on ahead, minion. Just loitering at a stop sign. It says stop, not stay. Group stalkers want to stay. License 8LWB905 is that group stalker. This is me repositioning a bag. Sorry for the noise. There we go. Alrighty, license 8EYX698, engaging in what is crossing a path. It's parking right here in front of 807, which would be 807 2nd Avenue. Right behind me, as you hear me adjusting my bag, I've stopped moving. This is a minion that's coming to me, engaging with his presence. License plate 8AVK482. All right, that's criminal surveillance. And that, again, 8EYX698 is engaging criminal surveillance with the Upland Police Department. That's P.O.C. And that's, again, grounds of federal prison. This is criminal monitoring. It's unlawful criminal conduct by a bunch of minions. 50763T1, 88EJ672, 7TYL815, 5VDZ050, 32855H3. Go, minion. You're a stalker. No, you're not. Go. You're sitting here watching me, waiting for me. If I'm not walking and I'm not regarding you, obviously I'm not going. And not only that, you're dealing with what is a group stalker. He's just sitting there. And stalking with the turn circle, understand, not being polite, monitoring. 6KEM581, 8PBE726, 06597G2. Monitoring with the minion, that is 8EYX698, group stalking at what is 807 2nd Avenue in Upland, California, 8ZDY312. It's 9:18 a.m. CSF 8034. DBA 3KF, those are both Arizona. 8JTT039. 6F14298. 4ZET670. 50466F1. 28213B3, I believe. Let me make sure this license is correct. 50466F1, yeah. And that is a Latino male driving a very filthy truck while he's engaging in very filthy conduct. 14760X1. And the correct license over here is 28213D3. 8TKB126. 5ZVM660. License plate 8VJA496. X2500X, 8MZS259, 6DBV603. Seven CHE 668. BEATLE9. C, license 74416Y2, Van Lund Roofing is crossing path again. 8LJF 648. GS245, handicap. 430LZ, handicap. C, 8RUP215, 4WGR378, 43645U2. Pacing over here at 11th Street and 3rd Avenue, I believe. Yeah, that's where I'm at. 7881578. 7DVC617, 9ADN132. URO292, 8JWN532, I believe. JWN532, 6LNR970, 8ZWL322, yeah, or 322, yeah, 13668X2, and that is 30187K2. 7ATT342, 2PNH338, 8V66301, BIGEVIE, 7VVF512, 7KWH915, 6RRP607, 8JJE499, 7UKW470, RLE0519, 6ZLV856, 6YDR943, 6TBG601, excuse me, that's 7TBG601, 9AAJ775, 7PEV238, BGQG890, BGQG890, yeah, 08030N2, 6FMR778, 7GMR691, 8MVX730, 7RCZ413, 6HOH565. Alrighty, walking up to what is Mesa Court or Mesa Cut and 3rd Avenue. Alright, so I walked from 11th Street up to Mesa in order to read the license plates along 11th Street. Excuse me, along 3rd Avenue, coming from the intersection of 11th. And I walked up to the intersection of Mesa and 3rd. It is 9:24 a.m. (24771Z1) Spectrum 63927B2, 8MSW495, 7TBX393, 00812C3, excuse me. That is looks like a AAA truck or something like that. 24710H1, 7NSD154. U.S.C 931445 is Spectrum, and again that license is 63927B2 at intersection 11th Street and 3rd Avenue. All right, and this flurry of minions arrive together, monitoring 6URZ199. They're engaging in pacing. All right, this is one entity that's engaging in pacing around you, breaking it up amongst a group of faces is supposed to confuse you, as though you don't have a stalker under the traditional definition. They're group stalking. 8ZDL184, 54724X2. Hold on a second. Stalking with activity, this demon. License 20390C2, vehicle 15659. All right, that's a very old Caucasian woman, dark hair. She immediately turns the corner as I begin to cross the street. She's stalking with activity. That's the minion that's tracking your every move. 8 CEJ 362. Five GRY 329. Eight ACW 220 16807D3. 6P DC 045. 7NXE 033. That's 6P.O.C 045. I want to be clear, you have this minion 8ACW220 group stalking outside of the grounds of an elementary school, which is also this Caucasian woman as well. Speaking to what is predatory conduct, which again, it's a threat to the children, regardless of the condition of those children. It's a threat to the children while this criminal conduct is occurring around, and any other sex offender, any other terrorist is not permitted to engage in such conduct. That's literally the criminal conduct that this demon 6 P.O.C 045 is engaging in criminal surveillance, a sex offender outside of the gates of this elementary school where they are monitoring. It's San Bernardino County. The address is 732 North 3rd Avenue. And this license plate 8ACW220 is doing the same. All right, this Caucasian female with this wavy golden hair, which I believe I documented her earlier, she is engaged in surveillance sitting in front of this elementary school, 8NJM845. In doing so, remember, as I walked up 3rd Avenue, all the way up there, she's in relevant position monitoring the entire time, monitoring with the demons who are pacing all around me. And doing so outside of the grounds is relevant to her prosecution and a sex offender's prosecution for engaging in that, and also endangering what are I'm not talking about the third parties monitoring at the elementary school, but the children, all right? You're talking about what is criminal conduct occurring amongst children, including children, literally facilitating the criminal system with children. This is sexually violent conduct that the entity engages in. That's why I'm bringing that up. That's relevant to the prosecution. 7HDE430. License 723 3rd Avenue, I believe is the street. Let me get that address, where this minion is engaging in that pattern of conduct. 8ACW220 is engaging in the P.O.C. at a facilitating venue that he is accessing, presumably where this minion resides, which is also relevant documentation. Walking inside of your venue where you're in relevant position, group stalking. 5YOV386, 8SVZ129. And yeah, it just says Upland Center, San Bernardino County Preschool Services Department, the Upland Center at 732 North 3rd Avenue, engaging in surveillance outside of on the sidewalk, monitoring with a communication device. That's the sex offender that's engaging in that. And that is conduct, criminal activity on behalf of a government that is endangering the lives of those children at this venue, where I am also subject to the P.O.C. And I also want to be clear, the people of the state that live in relevant position, this is how that entire system, guess what? They're engaged in surveillance as well. And creating what is a danger to these children while that criminal system that I remain subject to right now, documenting the people of the state, are engaged in. So I want to be clear, it's not just this minion that's sitting out here in her car engaging in surveillance. The people of the state that reside in relevant position who are present while the criminal system is underway. That you live in a facilitating venue, dear. That's where you are, and you're engaging in what is criminal conduct, which is relevant to the ways in which children are not only a means of engaging in that P.O.C., and it's also endangering the lives of those children, which the people of the state and the state of California just routinely engage in. 6RWT133, 8YDK624, 6PSU718, 9AZU112. And it is 9:32 a.m. The people of the state at 709, let's see, the intersection of G Street and, I want to say this is 3rd Avenue, I believe. License 7KGF750. Yeah, so this is G Street and 3rd Avenue. So that is 709 3rd Avenue in Upland, California. This is where the people of the state reside. This is where this license plate is located. 8SVZ129. 5YOV386. This is a method of this, how your what is custom made with regard to the prosecution of the people, 54724X2, who live in relevant position, who engage in such criminal conduct as including monitoring with, placing into danger minors while they're engaged in this criminal system on behalf of the state, including 723 3rd Avenue in Upland, California. And again, that license plate, 8ACW220, 92623X2, the same. 735 3rd Avenue in Upland, California, where the entity is amplifying plane engines. This is the P.O.C. In doing so, literally over a preschool, well, elementary school area. This is what the state of California is doing. But hey, it's a sex offender as well. 8KUA 852. 8TGJ 509 at the people of the state at what is 745 3rd Avenue in Upland, California. At 757 3rd Avenue in Upland, California, license plate 8URE090. License plate 8BXV021. And again, 6PCD045 is engaging in terrorism. The entity is amplifying plane engines. All right, that's a terrifying threat, and she's literally a sex-offending, demon-possessed group stalker outside of the grounds of a preschool. 8NVD979 53316B2, and it is currently 9:34 a.m. All right, criminal summoning while I'm at what is 757 3rd Avenue, 745 3rd Avenue, 732 North 3rd Avenue. This is the San Bernardino County Preschool Services Department. 748 3rd Avenue. And again, this Caucasian female who's engaging in surveillance is engaged in criminal summoning. Let me get another picture of this psychopath. All right, she is engaged in criminal summoning, engaging in surveillance literally outside of the doors of outside of the gates of the preschool. All right, but like I said, I have captured the demon-possessed in all manner of what is revealing the psychopath and highly demented and deranged and delusional group stalkers that they are. And a group stalker is, again, a demon-possessed person. This is a demonic system. And so it is conclusive. Where you are group stalking, you are a servant of Satan, which is a very real condition, which is also shown through what is objective evidence, as I have also supplied that. This is revealing what is demonic, and it's also revealing what is criminal amongst the demon-possessed. All right, none of this is a matter of what is hearsay. It is objective evidence, an ongoing body of evidence revealing both. All right, and she's engaged in criminal summoning, and this is a demon-possessed group stalker outside of the gates of a preschool, monitoring with, again, the demons of the Upland Police Department criminals. 6 PSU 718, 6 RWT 133, 9 AZU 112, I believe, 8 YDK 624, criminal summoning, 6 DLW 112. Yeah, 9AZU 112, that's criminal summoning. License. Alrighty, and let me be clear, while I'm addressing the location where I'm at, this preschool, this elementary school, they're engaged in criminal summoning right now. They're monitoring. And monitoring with the minion that's going to be prosecuted as in placing in danger while you hear this sort of terrorism occurring around a school. This is terrorism, okay? This is what's occurring around children and doing so on behalf of the state. That's the terrorism that the government is engaging in through the people. 7SM, and they are monitoring, okay? 7SML257, 53409 M2, 6JCC106, 4S40778, which is criminal summoning. All of these they're all engaged in criminal summoning. 688A and 676 3rd Avenue. The people of the state residing at that venue in relevant position. This is criminal summoning. At 669 3rd Avenue in Upland, California, criminal summoning. Crossing path, engaging in criminal summoning. 8ARE 502. Engaging in terrorism and doing so around children, endangering children and doing so, including the feds, the U.S.C. Yeah. 8RFC 829. That's vehicle 8208747. License 5B, and that's an Asian male driving that vehicle with glasses, short black hair. 5BHX025. 7JKV 374. 8EDZ 887. 4MBU 647. Criminal summoning at 650 3rd Avenue in Upland, California. 8PQL 978. Criminal summoning. 9T2579. That looks like an out-of-state license plate. It's dark blue with gold letterings. License 8Z63962. Criminal summoning. The entity at what is 640 3rd Avenue in Upland, California. And 650. Alrighty. 640, 640B, 640A through D, and up on 3rd Avenue in Upland, California. Criminal summoning. All right. License 8RVM 081 77732K3 26382P2 8MNZ 405. Criminal summoning. 9AQX 300 7LON 404. It is 9:39 a.m. This is the people of the state residing in relevant position. All right. The entity creates what is amplified audible activity while that is following me within environment. Literally, the sounds of sirens is the ongoing terrorizing environment which the entity is creating around children. This preschool, San Bernardino County, Upland Center, or as I documented. Sirens are no sound of any hero. Sirens under the P.O.C. This is terrorism while entity literally stalks with that environment. And it is terrorism that they are surrounding and creating amongst children. Where those in the custody of those children, by the way, serving for the prosecution, are monitoring, okay? I think this is U.S.C. License 5L YV538 BONDGRL. And that's all I can see over here. I think that is, I think that's the USPS. That where they're sounding sirens. Okay. License 7949. I can't really see that one. The last two characters are U1, but I can't really see that. All right. Stalking with light while the entity is sounding sirens at the state facilitating venue of the United States Postal Service. License 4RKB068. License 6P, 6P.O.C. 405, 6KVY 888, 6CDS 979. And I am approaching Arrow Highway on 3rd Avenue. All right, those sirens are serving a purpose, following with an environment, and group stalking is occurring at the United States Postal Service. Okay, 35676L2. Of course, I've even shown you at their headquarters the fake sun over the United States Postal Service. There's no exception to this demon possession, this demonic system. All right, that's why they have the sun rising and setting over their venue, as I showed you, at 123 West Hall Boulevard in Ontario, 6NKT176, 78TA062. That's West Coast Arborist. I read the license, 25615L2. Metrolink is monitoring as well. Monitoring with FedEx, who's stalking at Arrow Highway on the opposite side of the same block with light activity. 941 a.m. And again, West Coast Arborists engaging in criminal summoning. 8TDY427, 5TQS842, 6RLC389, 8ZVD284. Engaging in criminal summoning, the people of the state at 591 3rd Avenue in Upland, California, 579 on 3rd Avenue in Upland, California, 7ZQR651. The entity engaging in criminal summoning at 563 3rd Avenue in Upland, California. Which is right across the street from the United States Postal Service, where they are engaging in criminal summoning. This is the Postal Service, the post office at Arrow Highway and 3rd Avenue in Upland, California. Literally the work schedule. You're talking about what is the maintenance of presence in that entire venue. This is the federal government engaging in P.O.C. All right, license. That's what the USPS is. They take an oath. That's the feds, as I've referred to them. That's the feds monitoring American citizens. And they are demons, okay? Driving around in their little ashy white vehicles with directed light, okay? All the same. 5TQS842. 551 3rd Avenue in Upland, California. Criminal summoning. All right, and these, I'm just speaking to the street that I'm on. These are the addresses. The pattern of conduct exceeds beyond this street right now where I'm walking, where the entity is amplifying the sound of sirens. All right, license 4HSP204. All All right, and the sound of sirens, again, that's audible activity monitoring with communication devices. It is the hallmark. The entity literally stalks with that method of audible activity creation in a specific environment. The demon-possessed stalking with light activity. Okay, this is what I'm documenting, driving by hazards, keeping their hazards on, creating ongoing light activity. That's what that is about. That's the conduct of demons. It is 9:43 a.m. 7LZB184, 6RLC389 enters into the, presumably walks out of their car, walks toward the parking lot, presumably walked and on surveillance cameras into the United States Postal Service and engaging in P.O.C. with the federal government. Again, 6RLC389. The federal government at this address. The federal government is engaging in the P.O.C. outside of the United States Postal Service at this particular address, by the way. License 8KAL449. 7NVM003, Route 85, bus 2347 at 9:44 a.m. CALIOFE 8XJY419, 4RYL959, 6CDS979, 7XIS 457, 5GWV795, 8ZVD284. And this is POC at what is, let's see, where are the address here? This is, the 3rd Avenue, United States Postal Service. I'll document that. 8WCL300, and it is 9:49 a.m. For ZRK259. (119NG) handicap. Call it a booster. 7ZQR651, 8TJF732. Yeah, this one, I read that one, 7XIS457, old as dirt. Okay. Group stalking in a Jaguar, 4RYL959. Nothing honorable or noble or classy, right? About minions. License 56836K3, 6WVP932, I believe, and 6CDS979. WEEZ NWE 625 PP handicap, 625 9P, excuse me, that's handicap, 8XOF 213, 7WBZ 282, 8UJH 477, 6VSY 65, can't see the last character, 35568L3, 8WCL 300, 76073P1, 7NVM003. Eight XJY419. It's 9:47 a.m. 8 GFY223. CD12L13 paper. 65057H2. 8 UCS161. 7XXD163. 8 VXS939. 2955468. That's Corona Millworks. Commercial vehicle. 4HHT 593. 02370Z2, I believe. 4AWM 057. 90012K3. 8LRG 913. 8UWW081, 3NBB921, 8TBF819. I'm at Arrow Highway and 3rd Avenue right now. It's 9:48 a.m. 2ZQT970, 6ZIJ433. 6ZZR 942. 6C MW 238. 9APC 686. 9ACC 696. EV 333 handicap. 8DRL 274. 8TBF 747. A728CO 17269M2. 8SHW 265. 7KKJ 569. And let's see, 6JQH 725. 7GJV 135. 7KYV 850. 3205 3F1. 8WDE 586. 12735X2. 5JIV 759. 8NCC 462. 84186S2, 5AEL 716, 6SXR 114, 8VWV 731, I believe, 7ZZB 760, 5KXY 587, 7LZB 184, 5WJM 952, 6259P handicap, and I read that one already. 7UVT 979, waiting for me to, it's 9:50 a.m. 7TWK 259, and, can't see that one. 2ZQT 970, 5GUV 438, 4NFC 742, 8TJE 732, 54692K1, 6HSG 765. 8JYG 422. 8WRK 397. 7WGG 622. 6GPM 568. Actually, oh no, I know where that is. I read their license plates yesterday under the fake sun. It's 9:51 a.m. UMV 523. Seven CKL 518. AM89D30 paper. ITCH HMK. C6LDT 595. 8EYV 623. 5NXK 974. 7PPA 044. 5RPC 349. 8SRD 471. 54250H3. 8KJU 550. 8PZW 372. 8JLN 024. 8TBX 127. And again, that's 5P8. Hold on, 5PRC 349, excuse me. 8EHW 297. 5VSE 157. BC27KL7 paper. BD126, I can't say more. 56199T2 is a commercial vehicle. FB541 handicap. 7CGU 800. 7JXL 541. And it's 9:53 a.m. 6USL 320, 8BSS 829, 4V 65533. And I read that truck's license plate already. They're not Arrow Highway. 8ETM 416, 7BTY 474, T750L, I believe. Let's see. It's 9:53 a.m. License PINACRW. 6DZ VP 602, I believe. Six LVD 177. 8Z. I can't really see that one. 1407517, San Bernardino County. 6 TDH 779. 8 MXJ 127. 8 NCC 371. 8 PHE 679. 7 SBS 409. 5 ULK 127. And it is currently 9:54 a.m. 9206. I can't really see that one. 8 SSD 490. 8 YME 886. 8 TVY 075. N729XO. And let's see. 5 MNZ 443. It is 9:55 a.m. I have arrived at the Upland Public Library / City Hall area. 25831W2 8RIM 084 227UD handicap. And license 7ROW 568. And as I stated, it's 9:55 a.m. It is 5:53 p.m. 79483G2. Monitoring with Amazon Prime as well, who's on the opposite side of Euclid Avenue, creating light activity. And they're group stalking with the Upland Police Department. Amazon Prime is near Sammy's 5 Market on Euclid Avenue in Upland, California. It's 5:53 p.m. 8 UAU 237. And 7 KCN 918. 8 ACN 797. ZUB TS, I believe. I can't really see that one. You could scratch that one. I don't know if that was a T or a IS. 7 VVP 767. 7 MPK 755. 7 APU 000. 7 SLT 195. 7 PNL 522. I can't really see that one. Scratch that one. It's 5:55 p.m. It's like 7 UJE 535. Their demons just stalking with audible activity. 8 NQC 690. 7 LO87D2, 8 HYC 064, GYLITE, 8 CO4304, 5 NAC 501, 8 SWG 818, NRA, I can't really see the rest of them. 8 RJM 486, 8SX V660, 6 WPG 279, I believe. American Medical Response, license 21095H2, vehicle 95013. And they're group stalking with Amazon Prime, who's engaging in what is terrorism, stalking with light activity. And that's a state acting directly and vicariously. License 24724U2. Seven RDC 572, 8 KOL 616. Eight HDN 476, 78 HT 070, 6 MPN 690, 8 ZQT 839, 7 FEL 499. I can't really see that one. Good scratch that one. 8 CEC 066, 8 YSS 151. All right, and it's 5:57 p.m. This is P.O.C. All right, I want you to pay attention to the positioning of this third party inside of 7-Eleven. First of all, he's meeting me at the entrance. This is not just a coincidental arrival at the entrance of the 7-Eleven. This is the third party that meets me at the door. This is group stalking conduct. And as you'll see my still image, I'm taking a picture of what is just deliberate placement in front of the register at a distance behind the door, in operation of that communication device, and literally group stalking. I mean, he literally walks in with the deliberate objective of nothing other than what is monitoring on his phone. He stands, enters the store, does not look for any, he's not even acting like he's in here shopping for something, which is what they're all doing. They're all in here acting like they're shopping. They're group stalking. This one walks in with the ongoing deliberate purpose. He just stands there and maintains that presence. Again, as I capture his image, which he knows exactly what I took on my phone. As you see them studying their phones, they know what I'm doing on my phone. As you'll pay attention, often when I capture images of them, they look at their phone. All right. Well, they look at me too, but a lot of times they'll look right at their phone as I take a picture. These demons know exactly what I'm capturing images of while they look at their phone. Anyway, as I do that, then he walks toward the register. I'm just capturing what is ongoing group stalking, that ongoing thirst, okay? And I'm just speaking in the vernacular with what is a criminal determination, obsession, okay? That's what it is. Abnormality, very, very demented. And this is the people of the state. I'm at the 7-Eleven at 6 p.m. Stalking with light 92643X2 and 8FXK897, and criminal summoning 4ZPA302, and this is 7-Eleven at 204 North Euclid Avenue. It's 6:02 p.m. 8EXK897. License 70ZJ141, criminal summoning, all of them. 8WAG476, 98523D3. 8NWB878. Those are American Medical Response who are going to federal prison, many of them. 8 U.S.C 359. As you can hear, as I so heavily document, it is entirely pathetic, and it's also entirely criminal what they are continuously doing, and it's showing that they're psychopaths. And I am, again, putting out the necessary the legal relevance of that mental state of those operating the American Medical Response ambulances. Those are psychopaths, and their mental state is directly put into question as I'm documenting this psychopath conduct. All of these meetings engaging in criminal summoning, federal prison, 7XDH 677, 8TTE 369, 7HCR 819, 8MVA 978 Washington, 8NTN 098, 385YS. And again, that's American Medical Response going southbound on Euclid Avenue. 8 SMH 371, 7 KKM 441. And as the state acts directly in such manners, as I've documented American Medical Response, but it's the fire departments and police as well, this criminal summoning conduct, that obsessive stalking, and then it's also characterized with a psychopath just on the loose, stalking with sirens, that is putting their mental state in direct question. And that's also relevant to how the state can be prosecuted. 7LZP410. as you can hear, I mean, you're talking about just all kinds of, you're like an entire crazy person. And this is Satan that's engaging in this lawlessness, using demons who have access to ambulance vehicles, following from intersection to intersection, sounding a siren at the drop of a dime. It's entirely criminal. It is terrorism. But like I said, this is the groundwork for what is going to be the mind state that you're putting into question as I document the obsessive stalking by American medical response personnel specifically. They are demons engaging in that conduct. License 8SKB593. 4RSG413. Yeah. 7FEK031, 8GPJ977, 7D96096, 8B53762, 7EZV277, 8KOF066, 8NIV183, 8VUH292, 8HNX255, 6UMR782, 03475H3, 7NQU749, license ATGE853, 7RNX906, KLRVOLT, 7SZB788, 5RAP247, license 6PEC395, 6TMB545, 7UDG990, 8UCP585, 9ABB055. All of them are documented as engaging in what is the very serious federal crime of what is criminal summoning, which is grounds of federal prison. In addition to that, as I'm documenting them, and the people of the state shall be prosecuted and subject to that very federal charge. All right, you're talking about federal prison for that. This is how an entity is threatening your life. This is the entity that's stalking by helicopter, using all these people together to do so, monitoring you, criminal monitoring. Let me be clear who is also engaging in criminal conduct, criminal summoning. 8KBY649 and Cindy inside of the Upland Public Library. You have Noah. He's the Latino male inside of the Upland Public Library. Sheena inside of the Upland Public Library. She's the Asian female crossing path right now, 7CJP013. You have Kristen, the Caucasian female who paces a lot while I'm inside of the study rooms. They're all documented as engaging in criminal summoning as well. And that is if all I had inside of the Upland Public Library. I have much more than that. And the entity is providing ongoing evidence which shall result in what is federal prison for the people of the state. While they engage in what is conduct, that is serving also. That is directly relevant. Remember, they're monitoring documentation. You're talking about what's a delusional psychopath. Not only have I revealed your criminal system, you're going to federal prison for it. And the people of the state monitoring with you are going to federal prison for it. That is also directly relevant to the mind state of these criminals operating American medical response vehicles, who are also subject to federal prison while they are facilitating the demon-possessed police agencies who are monitoring while they sound those sirens, stalking me, all right, engaging in criminal monitoring. 9AHT869. All right, that is very, very disturbing conduct that American medical response personnel engage in on a heavily documented basis. 6HRA280. 5FFZ876, 7PQG819, 5ZOB445, 8HG8341, and Sheena, I believe that's her name, the Asian female with a 7CJP license plate that was crossing path right now and working in present group stalking, in other words, on the job at the Upland Public Library for the duration of the day, with Cindy and Noah and Kristen and Kiki, the African-American female. They are documented as engaging in what is criminal summoning all day long. The entity was doing that exact conduct, which you heard right now, amplifying the sound of sirens in the Upland Public Library. Okay? Like I said, this is very easy to document because they're engaging in stalking with noise. It's very easy to document noise as you're constantly surrounded by it. 7XYM319. And that is the hallmark, by the way, of the pattern of conduct. A hallmark is stalking by helicopter and stalking with the ongoing specific method of audible activity, which is sirens, which I pointed out years ago. This is the ongoing indication that the state is stalking, as I was establishing that pattern of conduct that belongs to the state of California. And like I said, this is speaking to, again, what is necessary, what is just, and that is the that which is entirely legally relevant, the mind state of the state of California that's acting directly by such criminals who I've also shown their demon possession. Stalking with directed light, 7 UIP 600, American Medical Response personnel. Stalking with audible activity using sirens while they're creeping on back streets and on corners, waiting for me to arrive, listening to whatever it is that I might say, and stalking with a method of activity creation, which is a siren on those ambulance vehicles. 236LL handicap, which is facilitating the government that is stalking me by helicopter. They're monitoring together, and they're engaging in that repetitious conduct. That's exactly what they engaged in this morning. This is called impunity. That is speaking directly to what is the threat that you pose to the public, including while you are facilitating that the public's criminal conduct in concert with you. Right? And also, what is your mind state? Your mental instability while you engage in that level of criminal conduct. 5 LBT 413, with knowledge of the fact that you are being documented. That's highly unstable conduct. Okay? Highly threatening conduct. 7F GY 658. And this is speaking to what is American Medical Response. Remember, this is group stalking. And remember, this is the demon-possessed population. As you have what is the impossible occurrence of what is a fake sun that remains over me day in and day out, that's speaking to what everyone's condition is. 8SCM282. And that is also specifically documented amongst American Medical Response, which is a method of identifying the entity that's acting through that company name. American Medical Response. That is anybody employed and associated with that company. That's how widely this documentation is relevant. When they are engaged in that criminal conduct, like I said, it's not just one police officer, it's the entire police department. As I've demonstrated, let me take it to their police station and let me show you Satan, okay? That's why that directed light in the fake sun is over wherever it is that their headquarters are. It is no more clearer than that with regard to what are puppets of Satan and criminals engaging in what is this satanic targeting system. 20640 and 2, and that is the exact same for American Medical Response. 6D YW 842, 8 TAB 648. And what is so sad is this, it's supposed to be that which is supposed some infliction of suffering, which you're going to be prosecuted for. 8703 OD3. But what the entity is doing is the entity has lost a long time ago. When your pattern of conduct is fully laid out on the internet, it's no longer a secret system. You lost a long time ago. And in addition to that, you are literally adding federal charges against your criminal counterpart. 7YXJ500. All right. In other words, you're not hurting me. You're hurting yourself. 8HBS 257, and you are going to federal prison for it. Okay. I've already seen to that. It is currently 6:12 p.m. and that is criminal summoning. Let's see, license plate 8HDA 572. FEK 031. License 8AKF 603, 8CSV 958, 8BFA 168, 4876472, 11243H2, that's UPS, 7RDP 626, FOOOSH 8WYC 541, 62259P2, 8PQW 850, 8HCD 153. Remember, as I walk through the neighborhood today, documenting the people of the state and their license plates and their addresses, they are all engaged in that ongoing criminal act, the repeated acts of criminal summoning and terrorism by helicopter. DG24EVR, they are engaged in that criminal conduct together. As I documented them and read their addresses and read their license plates and where they're located and what in the criminal conduct that I was subject to as I walked through their neighborhood, they are engaged in the same criminal system while the entity was stalking by helicopter, while the entity was monitoring all day while I was in the Upper Public Library, while the entity was engaging in criminal summoning this morning via the demons of American Medical Response, and right now via the demons of American Medical Response, and as I remain right now subject to that criminal system. All I did was go ahead and remind you of all those minions who are being simultaneously documented as I publish the ongoing criminal system that the state is ceaselessly engaged in. 8NYG 197. They're all being documented together. It is, again, like this is what I say. That's a defeated psychopath. It is evidence against all of the people of the state. 6 TCL 173 3803 2J2 5888 5F3 54401 S2 7 EHV 774 7 PBG 780 8 LLS 452 6LIG 615, 6PDY 924, 6JDE 887, 7NHS 685, 7CEG 433, 7RYW 382, 6AYC 730, 8ZWV 330, 02953R1, 7FAH 821, 5YKB 952. And let me translate something else for you, which is what I'm going to prosecute the company 7-Eleven for. While the entity is engaging in what is this act of criminal summoning, as I'm on the property of 7-Eleven at 204 North Euclid Avenue up in California, it is, let me be clear, another method of what is showing hostility in the same way that they like to engage in what is a sex offense, molesting me altogether inside of that store. All right, so while the entity is now engaging in criminal summoning on the grounds at 7-Eleven at 204 North Euclid Avenue, 8WZZ500, 7ZJL606, let me be clear, this is how the people of the state at that venue who knows it's being documented, they know I'm taking their pictures, they know they're being published on my website, 8LJF094, this is criminal conduct, this is criminal monitoring, they know exactly what I am documenting and publishing. All right. While the entity engages in criminal summoning at that address, that's how an entity, that's how a company, that's how the people of the state also show hostility. BV81W74. It is entirely focused on me. And that's so a sad misdirection because they're hurting themselves. License plate 6UFK652. But with regard to what is this prosecution, it's called sweet justice. Satan Satan at the outset is designed to fall on its own sword, if you will. Betraying itself. 7RNS677. Okay? Losing by its own efforts. Lost. 60982W1, 6UOJ853, 60156K2, 6ZCS748, 8YZP331, 8HPU220, and it's 6:17 p.m. And again, Metrolink engaging in what is terrorism while remaining inside of the Upland Public Library, where Noah and Cindy and Sheena and Kristen are engaging in what is criminal monitoring at the Upland Public Library with Kiki, all right? They're up there monitoring while the impossible audible activity of what is the Metrolink train is heard inside of the library, okay? Amplifying audible activity, another method of what is terrorism, stalking with noise, surrounding me with an environment, while psychopaths that are stalking and engaging in surveillance are looking every which other way like they're focusing on reading a book. 7WSK057. License 8XTS912. Metrolink engaging in what is terrorism as well. License 8WUL263. 9AHZ764. 6BXV952. 6PSH470. 7ZYL648. 7ERT006. 546995K. 8WWL314. 7SIS 113, 8U11029. But I do point out that effort of seeking to inflict harm with my focus, with me being the focus, seeking to inflict harm. While if you're not molesting with directed light, while demons are merely walking inside of the store, then you're stalking with some method of terrorizing audible activity to communicate the fact that we're still stalking, we're still monitoring, we want to bother you somehow. That's what the entity is focused on. You got to prosecute for that. That's demented. It's sick. 8ZML 038. 6MQF 040, 7MXZ 179, and that's exactly what Satan's intention is. It's so pathetic. That's federal group stalking and monitoring, though. It's pathetic. You got a whole people that are stalking you, a whole bunch of demons. 8FGH 320. License 8NQE 923. 7UHM 202. C51 1UH Utah, 8JTF 063, 6YGP 707, 8MSH 337, 51960F3. That's Mets Air Control. 076172, 9AVD 584, 8XCR 895. (7DSY 456). CB90X82 paper. 6WJW032, 8YHK389, 7FCN415, 8KVD860, 7WYV833, 6MGN985, 7R52173. It is currently 6:20 p.m. Six FVA 417. 244. Hold on. 8244 OG1 UPS. 6 BDY 088. 6 SLX 368. 77926H2. 86203W2. 7KJF 473. It's 6:21 p.m. Seven VZE 490, 8HJC 178. FUM 781, 8JVA 673, 8UZM 467, AHLY FAN 7ZNU 601, 8WCW 366, 8PDM 007, 7RXB 775, 7JMX 786, and it's 6:22 p.m. 8B16676, 8DKF 540. 7YAX 266. Seven AJR 951, 8TCD 883. 5HNV 576. Seven G 68554. RTE 66CW 8Y. I can't really see the rest of them. 6RLL 351, 8YVS 417, 6YZK 226. It's 6:24 p.m. 8KOL 616, 8SGR 460, 98HW032. That's again 98HW. 5VYY 224, 5FIZ 445, 8 8JIM 596 5877321. Six XPT 670 9 PAX 035 5 TQH 015 8Z 8 ZZE 327 I believe ILE. I can't see that. I need to scratch that one. Excuse me. License 8ACB 871 8FCN 008 8UFS 875 4T9RSS 8DSC 110 8ZNZ 333 8YSS 151 7MBX 164 8ZEN 742 CDO 1T61 paper. Seven TFT 119 6 TPE 439 I can't really say that one. 8 HVP 245, excuse me. 6 WIP 379 6 PDM 150 8 YCY 522 5 RRS 006 7 XPL 913 7 HTH 614 7 XTD 738 9 HUF 222 8 GDU 871 8 FOA 631 8 VBN 213 8 MSN 228 8 UZU 513 7 RZN 395 8 DYS 465 5 CVA 126 633 52H3 5R. Let's see, 5R. I can't really see that one. You scratch that one. 6 WRE 679 9 AEP 813 7 TNS 425 Heart FRM HUB 8 LRF 887 AHK P06. I think that's Colorado. It's a white and green license plate. It's out of state. 8 LVP 526 BF 84E26 7 BKP 419 7 UEV 982 BR 91D19 paper 8 NAP 034 3Y88351 36366A1 7 SUB 620 5 SHY 585 7 VPV 840 7 CPY 970 8 PAD 487 8 ZHT 961 CBO 7X36 paper 7 HDA 891 4 ELW 457 8 LQJ 246 8 TZK 028. All right, that's Metrolink. As I am sitting outside and I'm looking at the train, and I want to be clear, as I've already stated, this is demonic activity, and that's how the sound reminiscent of a train is occurring inside of the Upland Public Library. You cannot hear the train inside of the Upland Public Library. The Metrolink train, 8KHD 488. What you hear is demonic activity creation inside of the Upland Public Library, where Kiki and Sheena and Kristen and Noah and Cindy are group stalking. 8JDN 485, 6WGX 178, 8SNW 831, BE55T26 paper, 5BZH 218, 7YGN 957, 8KFB 086, 7SHW 509, BF11W57 paper, 6XX, I can't see them, 73739K2. L2 5YEF 395 CB97Z 88 84667B1 D514YO. It's 6:32 p.m. 8XNB 495. 6XDW 258. 8JHE 586. 8LNJ 139. 6ENV 343. 8HAU 334. 7JAV 305. 6BKP 782. 8GSR, I can't see the rest of them. 7VZR251, I believe. CLY 6262, Arizona. 7NHX 838. 8CVP 806, I believe. You can't really see that when you scratch that one. 97605P2. 6SMD 932. 8DYB 026. 8UDD 058. 7CYK027, 8WYT164, 6Y. I can't really see that one. You can search that one. It's 6:34 p.m. 8TAE096. 5FUA802. 7VRF153. 7VPP507. 8TBS452. 25011S1. 8FSD509. 7VDY536. 8MSL742. 8BOZ703, 7BDZ623, 6YTK703, 6ZHJ931, 4GNL324, 6T, let's see, 6T, I can't really see that one, BM76, you can scratch that one too. 6PJ8816. 5EPM829. 7FMH034. 8YBT791. 6RYV052. 7HGX028. 7 7B 27629. 8 UTD 598. 8 ROF 167. 67680C3. 6 BMT 777. 6 NHT 151. Excuse me, 7. Let's start with 7 out of 6. 7 JNT 882. 8 JAK 464. 6 BJU 443. 8 GNZ 600. 7 UIR 096. 8 WWD 996. 7 GNN 729. 7 PJM 440. 7 PSJ 022. BP 27803. CC 83Y90 paper 37568H3. 4 EQZ 394. 7 LCU 218. 8 PBR 046. 3 EDX 881. 7 DJE 722. 7 KKJ 505. CD 03V46 paper. 7 PPA 044. 8 YVD 325. 8 GNZ 600. 8 JMW 144. BF 04X74 paper. 8 SZY 252. 8 XUB 170. 8 YJH 450. 4 BAT 072. 8 XOR 266. 8 FSX 077. 4 KRZ 864. 4 XUC 928. 8 WVX 752. 8 VRL 731. 8 ZDA 723. 8 XVX 164. 6 RYT 574. That's Metrolink now going eastbound. The one prior to that I spoke to, which you cannot under any circumstances here inside of the Open Public Library, was going westbound. The one before that was going eastbound. And it's 6:39 p.m. where that's another train, by the way. 6 DTH 143. 6 VVG 627. 8 YED 101. 80336R1. 5 WWM 678. 5 WWM 687. 8 YMM 803. 4 HGX 085. 9 DV 2056 Texas. It's 6:40 p.m. 8016M handicap. 8 RNZ 559, 08663H2, 4 FRK 887, 5 CUG 485. 8 MWL 359, 7XPV294, 8NLH, 897, 1895OL2, that's Spectrum. Six ALP 792, 8 TED 140. Yeah. 7X 25746. Matco Tools Crossing Path. License 6MGW 815 615 8RK, which is Oregon. Matco Tools, Phil Toth is the name on there. 67781J1. 7XDM 544, AMR, license 63662Y2, Federal Prison, 7BCB 187, 6YOG 837, 4UHB 972, I believe, 6SQP 098, 7XHA 138, 7YDD 7YD 0224, excuse me, THEFJ 62, 8R ZV459, 335ZLC, Nevada. 7KUX 219, 5CZL 266, and by the way, it's 6:42 p.m. 3UCY 975, 8HVP 999. 8YTE 875. It's just like a large little motorhome thing. License 7ZZY 118. One 54553L1. Seven HCJ 514, 7 CTA 702. Eight SYW 018, 8 SEC 580, 6X24653. 8 RGK 413, I believe. 8 YOG 548, 5 KNA 199, 315332, 8 P. I can't really see that one. 5 MBY 252, 6 GAB 2. You can scratch that one. I can't see that one. Five VSA 825, 7 JVJ 168. 7 THD 767, 7P 83527. It's 6:44 p.m. 7 NSE 935, 8 MPM 489, 8 NWL 292, 8 TYU 723, 8 HAR 665, 8 CGZ 150, 8 FSK 502, 6 VMR 808. 7 GPK 310, 7 HAK 829, 8 GDL 748, 4 UIV 177. Nine APZ 601. It is currently 6:46 p.m. 8 UTK 439. see, 4JOU 465, 8WBX 097, 7CED 490, 8MPS 819, SCHWOW 6BSV 739, 7934 7T2. Seven SUA 570, 8PQY 903, 8TRR 887, 06662H3, 8M, let's see, 8MIL 995, 8LMS 149, 5YNN 418, 52602E1, 8WAT238, 7JGZ054. It's 6:47 p.m. 12064U2, Plumbing Works, license 1047581, 8FNW 727, 8RFC 297, 9AIA 512, 7DXW 628, 8VOP 084, 26191N1, 7ZNZ 418, 6XUS 066. Omnitrans Route 83, Bus 1216 is proceeding northbound on Euclid Avenue right now at 6:48 p.m. 6 U.S.C. 071, 6 UGJ 050. $89468 A3 14401C1 8YWC 812 832VV handicap. Six EYF 748 8CXW 127 3068507. That's Ryder. 8YKF 240 8PHV 597 7ZDV 025 7KLT137 7BLL 191 8BTV 346 32201D2 5J, I can't see that one, 7VVP 767. It's 6:49 p.m. HG778 handicap. Six SQV 566. I believe, or 6 SOV 566. 7 PTJ 839. 5 MUW 734. 7 VPT 849. 7 XCK 137. 70234L1, 8KDU 696, 7 TMH 458, 6K YV 850, 18192 M3, 7 VJH 465, 7 WBN 251, 8 ERE 511. License 8 CEG 287, 7 APM 692, 7 KRN 802, 8 YQD 157, 8 AIN 304, 6 XYG 491, 6 LRA 989. Monitoring to the light activity that Metrolink is creating at 6:51 p.m. Which is amplified audible activity, which you can still not hear inside of the Upland Public Library. And, by the way, that's amplification. 8 DDA 869. License 8AQH223. All right, these trains are not going to operate in such a manner that they're going to disturb people in their homes and in these businesses, which is a substantial distance, by the way, to be heard inside of the library, the Upland Public Library. That's, again, that ridiculous light. It's demonic. 6ZNL 450, 5GEZ 201, 38337V2, 8VGR 507. And like I stated before, as I have not only been on Metrolink, subject to that criminal pattern of conduct, by the way, they would not have anything called specifically a quiet car if that volume was so substantial. That means you're sitting on the train subject to that same impossible volume of the train sounding. That's super satanic audible activity. 6WHR035, 7LHX 834. Quiet car, meaning you can take a nap. You can talk on the phone, okay? You can hear yourself think. You're not hearing the train inside of the library that's way down the street. 94205Y2, a few blocks away. Okay, license 20971B3 6JZS 920, and not just a few blocks away. It's a few blocks away inside of the depths of that library. No, you're not. This is just common sense. I'm just pointing out common sense. 6:53 p.m. Every third party I documented is engaging in criminal summoning, including American Medical Response while those demons cross path. 7THE819. And that's how you use the criminal conduct of an entity against it itself. License plate 7VGY195, 7LZW295, 7VKW744. ANRRCHY 8RBT944 31154B3 8WJX199 7ACU156 8AFS825 8SEJ930 7FFM307. Y80006 18790N1 5JXL 808 7RBY 159 7ZAJ 047. It's 6:55 p.m. 21930M2. Oh. 7FJV 982, 8WME 982, 7HXW 120, 30886L3. 8R37808, 8MED 626, 8WSR 278, 8RAE 749, 3RTM 411. Perfect timing. 7UVL 085. Omnitrans approaching Route 83. At 6:55 p.m. Omnitrans is monitoring as well. It's license 1234520, bus 1216. I am on bus, as I stated, the Route 83 bus at 6:57 p.m. 8 PIT 541. 7ZKS 645, I believe. I can't really see that one, but I can see 6ZRR 854, which I believe I read maybe perhaps right before I got on this bus. It's 6:57 p.m. This is P.O.C. 7CUJ018. Seven ZXS 615. Eight RJB 225 68945U2. That's Brockton Medical Transport. Seven UWS 621 8 URT 192. Oh 5775J3. 7ABC 798. PNN 704. Hey, it is 704 and I did get off again. This is at Holt and Euclid in Ontario at 7:04 p.m. on surveillance cameras. It's bus 1216, license 1234520, and he is loitering in relevant position, creating light activity, as well as an African American male wearing a beanie, which again the buses are armed with cameras. BTFLYMO 7K46942, 7WIY265, 8E44023, 7MLG858. N2BATOR 1UET093, 8ZCX078, 6PXN627, 5YHJ672, 60828J3, 7JXU519, 8YWU253, excuse me, 8WPE340. License 8FFA997 or 8EFA 8FFA997, 8KSJ686, 7GZL. I can't really see the rest of them. 7MUC457, 3LVN592, 7ULX187, C. I can't see the rest of that one. 8STS939, 94486M2, 6SCM276, 8PGU825, 7DER372, 78XD457, 8WAX953, 22196E3, 4MEH504, 8BMD576, CC79H43 paper, 7EVH933, 8WLG448, 8LNJ128, 8HGF268, 8PDG555, 7VCP610, 8HYU772, FEDEER 8FCT038 79594E1. Seven CTV 520, I believe I read that one. 98EZ103 CB07 T44 paper. Route 87, bus 2360, Union Pacific. License 5DVU078. License 1545837, bus 2360. That's Route 87. That's Omnitrans. Engaged in surveillance in the parking lot of 150 East Hope Boulevard. License 8RXL751. This is surveillance at 7:08 p.m. He's monitoring with Union Pacific. That sound is created for his criminal purposes. He's monitoring. License 6ZTZ735. It is 7:08 p.m. and I have arrived at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. And this group stalker is Southwest Airlines. Let me show you this. Alright, and that is Southwest Airlines that is hovering over the Ontario Museum of History and Arts at the very location where I stand. When I am positioned under the side of the Ontario Museum where I usually am situated, that's where the group stalker, that is the terrorist, that is the sex offender Southwest Airlines, the people of the state, is flying over that portion of that museum directly over me. That's why they're flying where they are flying at the moment that they are flying, and in doing so with what is the creation of audible activity via Union Pacific. Understand how this is the people of the state identified by company names: Union Pacific, Southwest Airlines. All right, engaging in the criminal pattern of conduct on behalf of the state. It is currently 7:09 p.m. This is P.O.C. It is currently 11:25 p.m. So I do want to document the ongoing engagement in what is on the criminal act of this is the Ontario Fire Department, American Medical Response, and the Ontario Police Department. Again, at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. The entity, including right now at 11:25 p.m., is engaging in what is the ongoing repeated act of criminal summoning. This is the same entity that is stalking by helicopter at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, engaging in criminal summoning while, again, this entity is monitoring documentation. Doing so while I am at the venue, again, upon my arrival here, the entity repeatedly using sirens, after I documented the entity coming from the Upland Public Library as I remain inside of the Upland Public Library this morning en route to the Upland Public Library. That as I walk through Upland, California, documenting the people of the state, this is documentation of that entire entity engaging in that ongoing criminal conduct committed by what is the Ontario Fire Department, the Ontario Police, and American Medical Response, who are, again, right now, this very moment at 11:25 p.m. At the same time that I close an app on my phone. In other words, essentially closing down my phone, which is activity on my communication device. You have what are the demon possessed who are engaging in criminal surveillance. This is the Ontario Police, demonstrated as engaging in what is ongoing obsessive stalking, engaging in what is ongoing criminal summoning while monitoring documentation. This is the entity that is, again, documented today. Guerrero and Bonilla appearing at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. And these are psychopaths that are engaging in obsessive stalking, documented today, engaging in criminal summoning. They are engaging in ongoing criminal summoning right now at 11:25 p.m., literally engaging in what is monitoring as they are group stalking while I'm at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. And this is a psychopath that engages in what is stating that they're summoned by some other third party. This is the psychopath that's engaging in the criminal system of federal group stalking and monitoring. And it is the same psychopath conduct by the people of the state who are monitoring together, engaging in criminal surveillance. And then you have what is the unbalanced psychopath that is stalking in the way that the Ontario Police, the Ontario Fire Department, and American Medical Response is. As I documented, American Medical Response group stalking while I'm in Upland, California, at 803 North Euclid Avenue in Upland, California. American Medical Responses group stalking. All right, where the entity is flying over, stalking by helicopter. American Medical Response group stalking as I am on that same street in the evening as I leave the Upland Public Library. American Medical Response is nothing other than the state acting directly, engaging in the same exact criminal system of surveillance. engaging in the same criminal conduct while I remain at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. And why am I laughing? Because you're understanding what is the psychopath while you engage in such conduct. And then you're talking about what is the criminal system that they are engaging in that is revealing a very dangerous psychopath that is engaging in such obsessive stalking activity with simultaneity to what I'm literally doing on a cell phone. This is the reality of what is wrong with the demon-possessed Ontario police, very heavily documented. Okay, not just Bonilla and Guerrero. You're talking about what is the demon M. Ross. Okay, group stalking on an ongoing obsessive basis. This is speaking to what is the condition of the Ontario Police Department. Heavily documented, engaging in what it is. It is a stalker and a violent sex offender and a very dangerous psychopath who is engaging in surveillance in real time. So I want to document that it's 11:29 p.m. and the entity engaging in what is ongoing harassment as an entity engaged in federal stalking. And I want to be clear, multiple acts of what is just ongoing criminal summoning. Psychopaths that are together engaging in what is surveillance and just sounding their sirens all together. And this is the psychopath that's sitting back and witnessing me document the fact that American Medical Response are very dangerous psychopaths. Their mental state is immediately placed into question while the documentation of their criminal conduct is the ongoing evidence against the people of the state with whom they're going to federal prison. So the entity is listening to this documentation, hostile to it. And so in Ontario, what the entity has been engaging in is the ongoing engagement of what is criminal summoning. All right, so you're talking about the fire department, AMR, and the Ontario police all together engaging what is sounding their sirens. I want to document that. This is the ongoing P.O.C. It is attributed, let me be clear, every single license plate. The minions sitting inside of the Upland Public Library, where I was today. Even the Ovid Family Community Library, which I do not have to be inside of that venue. I've already been inside documenting what is Sean Thrasher. Okay, Securitas, the company, the minions wearing those badges, engaging in group stalking. Mickey, Greg, Natasha, the entity is engaging in what is criminal activity, all of which is evidence against the entirety of an entity, including those specifically named. That is nothing other than an illustration. The people of the state are engaging in what is obsessive stalking with this entity and engaging in this criminal conduct, which is evidence against the people of the state. Like I stated before, this is the sort of conduct by what are the very obsessed stalker, the violent sex offender, and the one who is providing evidence against its own entity. And that is the people of the state who's going to be prosecuted with this very evidence, showing what is the very dangerous psychopaths that are. They've already been documented as such. And so I just want to include this on my podcast. This is what the entity has been continuously engaged in since I updated my podcast, Leaving the Upland Public Library. And that's what the entity is doing the same exact entity as I am now subject to the same exact P.O.C. in Ontario. And every actor that I documented walking around and naming their addresses and reading license plates and up in California, they're prosecuted for that same obsessive stalking activity, harassment by an entity that is prosecuting itself. Okay, being a stalker. Criminal summoning is a criminal act. Criminal summoning is a criminal act committed by a very dangerous psychopath, an obsessed stalker, and a hostile group stalker. That is demon-possessed. All right, engaging in what is criminal conduct that's to be used against that entity itself. It's currently 11:31 p.m. This is P.O.C.